2 years ago, Americans watched in horror as a crisis unfolded at the Kabul airport.
She was tear-gassed and beaten.
Images of thousands desperate to escape Taliban oppression filled our news feeds. More than 80,000 Afghans made it to America. But the story didn't end there.
It was very cold. There was no power, no heat.
Who would help our newest neighbors? I'm Andrea Smartin. In Stranger Becomes Neighbor, you'll hear the stories of some remarkable refugees who left their homes and their dreams behind, only to start over from zero.
Their only possession was 3 blankets.
And you'll meet Americans who stepped up to help them.
You want me to come when you deliver your baby.
What can one person do in the face of an international disaster decades in the making? That's Stranger Becomes Neighbor. Find us at kslpodcast.com. Follow us on Apple Podcasts or anywhere else you listen.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
Welcome to the Real Estate Show. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. And it is beautiful outside and it's beautiful at Osmond Designs. So if you're out and about driving around, come check us out. We have stores in Lehigh and in Orem and lots of beautiful fall colors and textures, all the best pillows and blankets and upholstery so that you can make your home feel cozy. It's getting cold outside. I don't know if you guys have noticed. I'm starting to bring out my sweaters and jackets, and it's always fun to refresh the wardrobe, but it's always good in Utah. We love those 4 seasons, right, Jeff? Today on the show, we have 2 of our favorite guests back. We have Drew Armstrong and Matthew Flinders. Welcome, you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
It's a party at KSL when you guys are in the building. I will always say that. Today, we're talking about one of the biggest questions on everyone's mind right now, and that's mortgage rates and what that means for buyers and sellers. Matthew, take it away.
You know, everybody probably noticed that the Fed dropped the rate last week, but mortgage rates went up a little bit. So the bond market said no. I was looking on Mortgage News Daily. If anybody wants to know where to check current mortgage rates, Mortgage News Daily is a great, they're not paying us for anything. That's where Drew and I check when we check rates. And was looking at the 30-year fixed. It's 6.37% today. And different people are saying they're going to go up a little bit, down a little bit, things like that. But right when they dipped, right before the Fed dropped the rate, they actually dipped a little bit. A lot of people, talking to my couple of lenders I work with, talking to Central Bank, and they were saying a lot of people just went and
locked in
Smart.
and
doing refis and stuff like that.
Smart. Do you feel like there's a renewed hope for buyers right now?
There's a lot of buyers sitting on the sidelines, but there's a lot of demand here still. So inventory is still really low. I had a seller call me up kind of this week, like panicked and stuff, and saying, I don't know, it just seems like houses are sitting on the market too longer. And I'm like, it's not really that much longer. A month still isn't very long to be on the market, and we still have a lot of demand. So different price points are doing differently. Townhomes are not doing as well as some of the higher priced homes and even the $1 million, $2 million homes, but just normal fluctuations in the market.
For sure. It's still a buyer's market. So if you were a buyer right now, if you were looking to upsize, downsize, or maybe you're a real estate investor, it's a great time to go get a great deal on some real estate. Matthew and Drew, you guys are real estate investors, not only in residential properties, but also commercial. I am also an investor. I've made way more money in real estate than I've ever made in selling any kind of furniture. And I know you guys are the same. You've made more money in owning and renting and leasing real estate than you have in,
Sales.
Real estate commissions,
Yeah,
for sure, right? We just do this for fun. But it is a great time. Get in the market. Negotiate yourself $50,000 drop on a price and then go ahead and refinance that interest rate later, maybe in a month
absolutely.
or two. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I've been telling my clients for the last probably year and a half, 2 years, that it's the time to go ahead and buy in a way that is a little uncomfortable with your payment. You need to be able to afford it for sure, but if you're a little bit house poor at this point in time, that's not a bad time for you to do that. And then when rates do come down a little bit, then you're buying it essentially from yourself, and your only competition is you instead of the line of people out the front door, which would happen if we dropped to 5% right now. The market would take off in a way because there's some latency there. There are people that are waiting for those rates to change. And the problem is that if you wait too long for the rates to change with everyone else, then you're going to be waiting in lines to get into the houses to take a look and compete with everybody else later.
That's a great point. Could you take us through how we got here? I know for months the news has been growing. Rates are going to be coming down. The Fed is going to decrease interest rates. They might do it again in October and one more time in December and 3 more times next year. And then we see mortgage rates pop upward as soon as the Fed makes an announcement. How did we get there?
Well, it's interesting because the market itself anticipates what the Federal Reserve is going to do. What the Feds decide to do has already been anticipated in advance of when they actually act. And so they have kind of guessed where they need to be. And when it doesn't move as much as they anticipate, then they react negatively and it readjusts. So the lowest rates that we've had were the day before the announcement this past year, because last month. This month, they decided, okay, we think that the Feds, they've indicated that they are going to drop rates, and they make their anticipated that they're going to drop it a certain amount. They didn't drop it quite as much as they expected, and so we saw the rates go up just a little bit the next day. So we're talking about like 6.1 versus 6.3.
Okay, so we're talking about like almost a quarter of a point. Mm-hmm. When you have, let's say, $500,000 that you're financing, 30-year fixed.
Yeah.
How much money is that a month?
$180, $200 a month kind of thing. So it's significant, but
that
not
makes necessarily a deal killer.
No. And that's the thing is, it's like, that's better if you are a little uncomfortable with your rate right now. I think that's fine. We're in that part of the market cycle where it's okay for us to be a little stressed by our payment. You need to be able to afford it. Don't buy something you can't afford. But if you have to cut back on a vacation just a little bit, it's all right to be a little bit uncomfortable with it today. And then down the road, you're going to be in a position where you refinance it once when the rate drops a 0.5 point, and you'll be happy.
Oh, for sure. Mm-hmm. So let's go back to Jeff's example where he was saying, if you're going to be financing $500,000, it's only $100 or $200, maybe $180 to $200 per month, but
mm-hmm.
You 3 times that.
Yeah, it gets big.
It gets big, right?
Yeah.
What are most sellers doing right now that are requiring them to sell their home? Is it they want to upsize? Is it divorce situations? Is it new marriages? Like, why are people, is it job transfers? Why are people?
All those things.
Yeah.
All of those things. Some of the best buyers are the job transfers. They're moving into town. They need a house. They've sold theirs. They're ready to go. And then we have a lot of families doubling up still. But a lot of those families, once they save up their down payments, I just had somebody text me on the way over this morning, like, here's how much I've got down. What about this house? Run that payment for me. And, she was asking me about mortgage rates and, what is happening. And a lot of people, just to remind everybody, when the Fed cuts rate, that's the short-term rate that banks charge each other. So it's not the mortgage market. And the mortgages actually follow the 10-year Treasury. So that's forward thinking. And so if investors think that there's going to be inflation, then they want a higher return. They don't buy those mortgage-backed securities unless they're getting a higher return. So that's why rates are still that pressure to stay up where they've been lately.
For sure. If you're an investor, what are you doing? What are you investing in right now? Commercial, residential, single-family homes, multifamily? What would you say?
It kind of depends. A lot of the commercial rates are better than the mortgage rates. So if you go and get a commercial loan, those rates right now are better than some of these 30-year fixed. Our average in the last year has been between 6.13 and 7.26 on the 30-year fixed. And then the 30-year jumbo's been between about the same. A little higher bump earlier this year. Went up to, I think it was 7.45. I wrote down in my notes here. So.
Wow.
Yeah, but what ends up happening is typically like a commercial rate is higher than a residential rate. But right now, when there's some volatility in the market or expected movement in rates, the banks are not as hesitant to lend commercially because they're only locked into that rate. So the money is at risk for the bank. I mean, you got to look at it how the bank looks at it. The bank looks at your mortgage like an investment, right? And so they're going to get a return in terms of the interest that you're paying the bank back. And if you get a really, really low interest rate that's locked in for a long time and they're thinking, well, it might go up, then they are lending the money out at a lower rate than what they anticipate they would be able to in the future. And so the risk level for a bank to lend on commercial is actually lower because they're only obligated to honor that interest rate for like 5 years or 10 years rather than 30 years.
And since we're on the subject of banks, let's give a shout out to our sponsor, Central Bank. They have been serving Utah for over 130 years, and they are proud of their story and sustained growth and security. They've been in business since 1891. They believe in continuing progress, and it is a direct result of the dedication to their caring of the individual needs and communities that they serve. Stay tuned. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. We'll be right back.
Sweeten your fall at the Clark Historic Farms Honey Harvest Festival in Grantsville. Join us October 10th and 11th for a day of family fun. Enjoy delicious honey tasting, craft vendors, and live music with the Sweet Fiddlin' Fest. Meet local beekeepers, learn about the magic of honey, and don't miss the harvest activities. Bring your friends and family to the sweetest festival of the season. Visit clarkhistoricfarm.org for more details. That's clarkhistoricfarm.org.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Break up with stinky clothes.
Rinse it out. Every now and then I get a little bit tired of the stinks that just will never come out. Oh, Downy the rinse change. Every now and then I rinse it out. One wash and it delivers. One wash, it smells so clean. Downy Rinse and Refresh, it's a dream.
Downy Rinse and Refresh. Fights odor in just one wash. Guaranteed.
Are you ready to take your small biz to the next level? At the UPS Store, we have the key to unlock a world of possibilities. We'll sign for your packages and protect them from porch pirates. We'll send text straight to your phone so you're in the loop for new deliveries. And give your small biz the street cred it deserves with a real street address. So what are you waiting for? Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable. Come into your local store today.
I'm Dave Cawley, investigative journalist and host of the podcast Cold. Don't miss Cold's new Season 3, where I look into the unsolved disappearance of Cherie Warren, a woman last seen leaving her job at a Salt Lake City office in 1985. Police cast suspicion on Cherie's estranged husband and boyfriend, but never made any arrests or recovered Cherie's remains. Find Cold Season 3, The Search for Cherie, anywhere you get your podcasts.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Show. Thanks so much for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem. So what's going on at the stores?
You know what, Jeff? It's always exciting at our stores. We just go from one holiday to the next, and so it's like Christmas every day at our stores. We're always getting new products in. Something I'm most excited about right now is just our interior design consultations. People are getting ready and geared up for the holidays to have their family and friends come over, and they just want a good refresh. A lot of people with leather sofas and leather sectionals right now are actually upgrading and changing those out for fabric. which is great.
That's an upgrade?
That is an upgrade. It is nowadays. It used to not be. However, there's performance fabrics is what they're called. Revolution fabrics, umbrella fabrics, but they're soft and cozy like they've never been before. So you can actually spill your Diet Coke on them, or, your grandkid's baby bottle milk can spill all over them. You have your dog, your cat, your husband on it. You just clean it. It's just perfect. And it's cozy and warm. It's just not cold like leather sometimes is. So come and check those out at our stores.
I resent the husband being grouped with the dogs.
I heard that too. The baby bottle.
Maybe it's your wife is super messy. I mean, we're not trying
Definitely
to stereotype anyone here.
They got it right, but I was offended anyway.
I should probably not say that with 3 men in the room, right? But women, you all know what I'm talking about.
That's funny that they come in and they buy the fabric ones rather than the leather because their leather is colder.
Yes, and I will say that most women are making these purchases, Jeff. Women come in, they need a refresh, and as long as it works in the husband's budget.
Am I wrong?
Their husband's like, here's my credit card.
But am I wrong? Guy wants a leather couch.
Always.
Okay.
It's
Because
true.
you could spill pizza on it and your wife doesn't get mad at you.
That's just making sure.
Kate, the pizza on leather actually does stain,
Yeah,
probably
grease.
even more than the performance fabric. So let me just make an argument for beautiful fabrics at our store. And then, Jeff, you cannot have a comment about Osmond Designs or do a little mini advertisement without talking about all of our beautiful pillows, all the fall colors. We have the pumpkin burnt oranges. We have the cranberry reds, the navy blues. All of those just really comfortable fall colors.
Did you act on my design idea yet?
I know. So if you're just joining us, Jeff had a great idea last week on the show. And because Halloween is coming up, we talked about maybe filling the pillows
with candy.
With candy,
Come
of
on.
course. Why wouldn't we do that?
That's what we used to do as kids. You'd graduate to the pillowcase, right?
Right.
So,
right.
yeah.
Put them in the accent pillows on your beds, on your sofas. You're watching a movie, you unzip it, grab your favorite candy bar out. You could just, still do that as long as it'll karate chop appropriately. I think that could be a good idea, Jeff. Multi-million-dollar idea right there.
The karate chop thing. Could you explain this? Do you know what
Karate
she's talking
chop
about?
The pillow.
I know what she's talking
You
about.
guys do.
I
Drew
do it.
and Matthew, you have those
I
pillows.
did it last night.
Jeff, it's one of those things, if you know, you know. And if you don't, you're kind of you need to get up to speed, right?
Feeling a little left out, but my friend Joey Google is going to help me out here right now.
Jeff's been doing this
Heather can
show
help
with
ya.
me long enough that he knows about the karate chop, but it's the down-filled pillows. You'll see them in all the designer magazines, Architectural Digest and Elle Decor and all of those, but they're those beautiful, perfectly karate chopped pillows right down the center, and it just holds its shape and makes it super, cushy and cozy and great. If you don't have karate chop pillows, oftentimes the big box stores don't sell those. They're the foam or poly filled, and you can use them as Frisbees. Send them outside to the dog and then come to Osmond Designs and buy your new pillows. And they're a little more expensive, but so worth it because they're going to look great in 3 years, in 5 years, in 20 years.
And
So
they're
there you go.
comfortable to actually sit on, too. That's the thing.
Yeah, do not sit on the designer pillows. True, you're one of those guys. So check this out. There's just pillows that are decorative that you just do not. It's like the towels, right? In your home, like those towels you don't use. Those are the pretty
True,
towels.
true. The 30 pillows that you have to take off your bed
To sleep
every
on.
night.
Yeah.
She's talking about those.
I stack those
pillows.
in the corner of my bedroom. There's a big pile of them, and somehow they get put back on the bed. I don't know how. That's magic.
It's magic. You come home and you have to move them all again. And yeah, that's always fun at Osmond Designs. But another shout out that's really fun that we're selling right now is Caraloha sheets. Those are those bamboo
super soft ones.
You guys, Cozy Earth, Caraloha, you probably will recognize some of those brands. We have them at our stores, and it literally feels like butter. It is life-changing
soft.
if you are in the market. Bedding is always a fun fall add to what you have going on in your home right now.
Plus, your stores smell so good when you walk in there.
They smell so good.
We've got to talk to you about our art gallery.
Let's do it.
Yeah, because we need it to smell good.
Yes, you do.
While
And
people are looking at the pictures.
do it. And it's an inexpensive way to just really bring in the fall season. We have all the pumpkin spices. We have the apple cinnamons, all the, fresh balsam. It's that Alpine Park City
You
pine
have
tree
that
smell.
Disney machine, right?
Yeah, this is the coolest thing. It's called Scent Air. And it's the machine that they have at Disneyland. If you have ever been on the ride before, it's called Soarin' Over California.
One of my favorites.
And you smell the orange trees, right, when you're going over. It's the same machine. We are the only company, exclusive retailer in the state of Utah. And we have those machines. And if you buy one machine, it literally will almost do your entire main floor. So you can buy one for the main, one for the basement, depending on the size of your home. But everyone always asks me, even the Amazon guy, your home smells so good. Where did you get that? And I just love always saying, Osmond Designs. You should go check it out. You guys are awesome. Come check out Osmond Designs. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. Today we have Drew Armstrong, Matthew Flinders on the show with us, two of the best and most experienced real estate agents in the entire state of Utah. We'll be right back.
Sweeten your fall at the Clark Historic Farms Honey Harvest Festival in Grantsville. Join us October 10th and 11th for a day of family fun. Enjoy delicious honey tasting, craft vendors, and live music with the Sweet Fiddlin' Fest. Meet local beekeepers, learn about the magic of honey, and don't miss the harvest activities. Bring your friends and family to the sweetest festival of the season. Visit clarkhistoricfarm.org for more details. That's clarkhistoricfarm.org.
Gain Super Flings are here to take your laundry to the next level.
Talking about Gain Super Flings. Super size laundry packs. These things are huge. Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings laundry packs have 4 times the Oxy cleaning power and 3 times the Febreze freshness versus Gain Original Liquid.
Super fresh, super clean. Gain Super Flings.
Gain Super Flings for next level laundry.
It's the story of an American held in a dark Venezuelan prison.
Then all of a sudden they all kind of lined up. They pointed their guns at me. And this is the point where I thought, I'm going to die today.
I'm Becky Bruce. I spent a year working on Hope in Darkness, which now has more than 2 million downloads. Find it on kslpodcast.com or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Welcome to the KSL Real Estate Show. Hear updates on the national and local Utah real estate markets. We cover residential and commercial properties. Plus, get inspiring ideas to make your house a home from our sponsor, Osmond Designs. Here's Heather Osmond and Jeff Caplan on KSL News Radio.
It's the Real Estate Show on KSL. Thanks for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. Today we have Matthew Flinders and Drew Armstrong on the show with us. Two of the top real estate agents in the entire state of Utah. So happy to have you guys. It's always a party.
We have all known each other for a really long time. I mean,
30 years.
30 years
At
we've been
least.
selling real estate. That's why we're so experienced. We're just old. That's what happened.
I know. We have a lot of wrinkles now, a lot more gray hair. It's kind of fun, though. You guys are awesome. I'm always a fan of Drew and Matthew on the show. You guys always know what's going on in the market.
Hey, in that previous segment, we were talking about those scent machines that you've got at Osmond Designs. What are those called again?
Yes, it's called Scent Air, and they're those really cool machines that basically you plug in and they scent your entire main floor. So you don't have to have plugins for every single room. You just have one, and you can actually turn it up or turn it down, get it the perfect scent, and it just has this little fan that goes and just smells.
Can it change flavors?
It can.
Wow.
It's incredible. Yes, you buy each of the individual cartridges that go in, and it's just a great way to bring in fall. And I think it really does help sell homes.
It really does.
People don't realize how your home smells, how important that is to selling your home for the highest amount of money and in the quickest amount of time.
They always say cookies.
Cookies.
The cookie smell, fresh cookies smell.
Cookies
is that a thing?
Good. There's a lot of smells that are really good. Cookies is a good one. Bread is a fresh baked bread.
If you can hit it just right, because you've got to not burn the cookies. It's got to be the right amount of cookies.
Doughiness.
We show houses all the time, and some of the nicer homes will have these machines in them, and you can tell because it's subtle, but it smells so good. Like you were saying that, like the Amazon guy walks up to your door and like, what? Your house smells so good. And when a buyer walks up and, hey, the lighting is right and the smell is right and the staging is right, on some of these nice houses. In fact, during the break, we were just talking about that. Heather, you're headed up to Park City to go look at a really, really big house to do some consultation.
Yeah.
And it's so much more affordable than people realize.
It's so true. Interior design consultation. It's a $25 million home in Park City that they're looking at selling. I'm so excited to go check it out. I mean, I'm like everyone else. I get excited to go look at big houses and see what they're doing. But yeah, it's just an interior design consultation. But you don't have to own a $25 million home to have one of our designers come into your home. It's $99 for a 1-hour consultation. We will help look at your home, assess your goals, what you love about your home, what you don't love about your home, and make some suggestions and recommendations on maybe even just to improve or move things around that you currently have in your home and you don't even have to buy anything.
I had a client one time, and we listed their house for sale, and then I called, they had the consultation, and I called them up the next day, like, how did everything go? And the wife said, we don't want to move anymore. She was just joking. They did, but they took the furniture that they weren't as good at staging it and things like that, moved that around, put in a rug and did some things. And it made such a difference the way it looked when a buyer came through the home. And they were working with mostly just their existing stuff with a couple of other little things.
One of the biggest mistakes that Utah homes make is scale. We have these huge, massive homes. People buy a sofa online that looks like it belongs in an apartment complex. It's just the scale is usually wrong, or they lived in a big home, they downsize, and they're trying to bring all of their huge, massive furniture and put it in these really, really small areas, and it just never works. And that's where that Facebook marketplace really comes in handy. Sell it, get something that works, that you love, that you're happy with. There's no better investment than investing in, your own space and having a home that you love. I know you guys, I'm preaching to the choir because you guys get this.
Last week, I sent you some pictures of a big, huge fireplace in a $1.3 million house that I just sold. And you talked to me about scale. And then we gave some feedback to the people. And that was part of it, like the TV size and if they should add shelves or not, and floating shelves and different mantles.
Heather, did you charge them $99?
I did. Matthew, I charge Matthew double. Friends and family discount, right? No, it's just complimentary. Happy to help Matthew and Drew with any of their clients anytime. You guys are awesome. Let's talk about some of your great listings that you have on the market right now.
Well, let's see if we switch to listings. Drew and I just listed a 27-unit apartment complex and a 16-unit apartment complex up in Idaho Falls, Idaho.
We're licensed there too. So.
Right. So if any investors are looking out there, and probably the buyer is somebody who just sold a business or they just sold a big property and they're wanting to do a 1031 into the seller that we're helping for this property just does things so well. And he just remodeled both of these properties to a really good, put quality product in there and everything like that. And so if you're looking to put your money in something where you're going to get nice, steady returns, we think we've got a really good opportunity for anybody out there. Give us a call. Go to utahrealestate.net. Look up Drew, call him because he's better than me, and ask him all about it.
You're going to go on vacation and let Drew handle all the clients.
We're 50-50 partners. We always want everybody to call the other guy.
That's awesome. Put a billboard with Matthew's phone number up there. You guys are great. What are some of the trends you're seeing? Matthew, you and I talked in the break just about homes that maybe are built in 2005, 2015, and how they look right now, and what improvements they can make to be to 2025.
Right. That after the show, I've got the pictures ready to show you because I'm going to list a nice. It's probably a $2.4 million home, And it is 2005 pristine. It's vintage. It has just imagine the 2000, everything that was great. I was showing my wife the pictures, and she's like, this is perfect.
And back in its glory days, It was amazing. So what we're describing to you right now, since we're on the radio, is probably the Tuscan old world, alder cabinets. They probably have knots in them with some glazed walls, you know, all the bells and whistles, correct?
Right, exactly. Even the texture on the walls.
Yeah.
Like kind of heavy texture on the walls and taupey colors and... Yeah, you know, in
chipped travertine, right? Would that be?
Yep, chipped travertine off the edges. You can remember that, and it was all cool at the time. But you know, it's interesting because obviously the trends have gone a lot cooler, but I'm seeing them warm up just a little bit again.
It's so true.
Just a little bit.
Bringing the beiges back, right? We went a huge swing towards black and white and gray, and I will give credit to Joanna Gaines and her HGTV show, because that modern farmhouse, I mean, it was like a whole nother world that everyone wanted. All the parade homes were that. And now people are wanting warmer walls.
Right.
We're going into a lot of these white wall homes, interior and exterior, and adding just a little more softness and coziness to those.
What now? So you did the design for a lot of the parade homes this summer. Tell us about some of the trends that you're seeing that are changing, and what are people leaning towards, you know, people who couldn't make it to the parade this year.
Yeah, so definitely mountain modern is how I best describe it, but just cleaner lines, but very, very neutral colors with lots of texture. So
organic,
a lot of boucles,
kind of
velvets, linens are really hot right now, or a linen look anyway, but just very comfortable. Deep seats, track arm sofas. We're actually selling a lot of motion chairs right now. People love the swivels. They love that they glide. They love that they recline. Just comfort is probably first and foremost in almost all of our designs, which is pretty cool. Okay, technology. We cannot have Drew and Matthew on the show without talking about techie stuff. You guys are two of the most techie real estate agents, definitely in the state. What's going on with all of that right now?
Drew's been on the bleeding edge of technology for years, and I've been paying for half of it.
He's a great partner.
Somebody has to put themselves out there. I don't know. I think we're getting to the point where our home automation is, you know, that we want it to work. We want it to work seamlessly with our lifestyles, to where you don't have to be a tech genius to figure out how to integrate some of this stuff. And it doesn't have to be overt. I mean, overt is too much. People, you know, you want it to work in a way where it just it works with what you've got. So compatibility, so the systems talk to each other, is really important. It used to be that you'd end up having to get like a Control 4 system, or what's it called, Centurion. I can't even remember what that was. Anyhow, to get this automation, and now we look at each of the products that we buy. When you buy light switches or light fixtures or washers and dryers, or the thermostat to your house, or your ceiling fan, all the things that are like normal parts of our house now can be networked and integrated into your automation system, whether that be Google or Alexa, Amazon's Alexa, or Siri from Apple. And I'm kind of surprised, because I thought that Apple was going to release a home automation center. That was the rumor this year, and we haven't really seen that yet. And I'm kind of surprised, because it was going to be like an iPad that stayed on your wall and would run everything. And Google has one, Alexa has one. Apple is going to come out with one this year, but it's important that whenever you look at any of those things, make sure it's compatible with the system that you use, because they're not all.
And I love smart homes like the Lutron and some of those other brands that you're talking about.
Lutron.
Amazing stuff, but I'm dumb enough that I just also want it to work. I need it to turn on and turn off and
Isn't
make
that
it simple.
Apple pretty much?
Pretty much.
If you want it to work.
It is, but like Lutron Caseta switches, for example, work with all three of the major home automation platforms. And so you just need to just double check and make sure that this is compatible with everything that you use, and then it should work.
You will be spoiled if you can upgrade your home. If you're building a new home, make sure you do the research so that you are putting in what will work a year from now or 5 years or 10 years from now. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. Today we have Drew Armstrong and Matthew Flinders. UtahRealestate.net is how you find them. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Sweeten your fall at the Clark Historic Farms Honey Harvest Festival in Grantsville. Join us October 10th and 11th for a day of family fun. Enjoy delicious honey tasting, craft vendors, and live music with the Sweet Fiddlin' Fest. Meet local beekeepers, learn about the magic of honey, and don't miss the harvest activities. Bring your friends and family to the sweetest festival of the season. Visit clarkhistoricfarm.org for more details. That's clarkhistoricfarm.org.
2 years ago, Americans watched in horror as a crisis unfolded at the Kabul airport.
There's desperation and anguish.
More than 80,000 Afghans have since arrived in America, but this story is still unfolding. I'm Andrea Smartin. In my new podcast, Stranger Becomes Neighbor, we'll find out what happens to these new arrivals in our communities. Who would help our newest neighbors? Follow us at kslpodcast.com, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else you listen.
We're back with the KSL Real Estate Show, sponsored by Osmond Designs on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Show. Thanks for listening. I'm Jeff Caplan. Heather Osmond is here from Osmond Designs. Her stores are in Lehigh and Orem.
Yes, they are. We have been having a lot of fun on the show today. We're talking about, the sense of fall, the sights of fall, all of those amazing things at Osmond Designs. You definitely want to get a 1-hour consultation and have one of our incredible interior designers come out to your home so that we can help you prepare for family and friends to come over. We've also been talking about being a real estate seller, being a real estate buyer, mortgage rates. We've been talking about being an investor. You guys are pros. We have Drew Armstrong, Matthew Flinders on the show with us again. And, one of the hot topics is always housing shortage, affordability. How do people get into the market right now? What are your recommendations for buyers or for sellers that are interested in selling their home? Or maybe there's an investor that wants your help in finding the right investment property for them.
Right. Well, if you're an investor and you want to look at some of the options out there, we've got a lot of good product out for investors, people who've sold a business or sold some real estate who are looking to buy something and get a nice a long-term return on them. And so give us a call if you want to do that. And if you're a seller, if you're thinking about selling and wondering, do I sell this fall or this spring, call us up. We'll run over. We'll tell you what the market's like. We'll give you some helpful tips and tricks to sell your home for top dollar. And everybody listening to the show knows that we know Heather Osmond. And so you might actually, people are so surprised when Heather actually shows up to do the design, like to come and help them stage their house or answer their questions and things like that when we list those houses for sale. So
I love to do that so much. And experience matters. You guys have been in the business for over 30 years. There's two of you for the price of one, which is incredible. Plus, you get all the technology resources. So you guys do drones, what are your walkthroughs you do?
We do 3D tours. We've done 3D tours of your stores. And then we do floor plans so people can see the floor plan. Drew is a photographer. We have an art gallery opening up in downtown Pleasant Grove. In fact,
shout out to Drew. This is so cool.
Great photographer.
Selling go to drewarmstrong.com and you can see some of Drew's photography. It's amazing. And then if you call us up to sell your house, Heather's going to come over. Heather went and did all the work for lots of parade homes. And so you'll have somebody with that experience helping you work with the furniture that you've got, or maybe adding some of those pieces. A lot of people are so excited when they kind of really realize, like, okay, so you're saying we could go down, we could work with Heather, we could get the new couch we want for the new house, the new furniture, put it in our existing home, sell it for more money, and then we take it with us into the next house. And so, I mean, if you're thinking about selling, give us a call. Go to utahrealestate.net and call up Drew.
Call up Drew because Matthew's going to be on vacation. You guys are a hoot. So for all of our buyers that are listening right now, maybe it's your child or your grandchild that's trying to get in a home. What advice do you have? There's some creative ways to get into a home that you can afford.
You know, it's tough right now. I mean, right now, our kids that are in their 20s, their home ownership rates are as low as they've ever been. They just don't buy houses very much, and some of that's a lifestyle choice, I think, but some of it's just it's hard. It's nearly impossible. They're competing with corporations. They're competing with their parents, and lending guidelines have gotten tougher in the last 15 years. They've relaxed a little bit, but prices have gone up. I mean, our prices, even in the last year, are up about 2% year over year. Inventory levels are up about 18% right now, which, if there were 4 houses sitting on the market last year, now there's 5. So it's getting a little bit better in that sense, and rates have come down a little bit, but it's still hard to get in. So there are first-time buyer programs that an experienced agent is going to be able to guide you to, and some of those are very hyper-local. So just in Provo, for example, or so having an agent that is close to the market and knows what they're doing is one thing. And then the other thing is that we're about 3 years from when the legislature made it so that everybody could have an accessory dwelling unit or an ADU, an accessory apartment. And now people, instead of buying a house with a basement that's unfinished, they're buying a house and finishing the basement. And it doesn't cost that much to finish the basement, but they're finishing it as what could be an apartment, and that's helping to make it so it's more affordable to get into new housing.
And that is a game changer. And maybe even think of living in the basement and renting the upstairs for your entire mortgage. I have a little experience of that. My first home, we did that. And I know you guys have done that. You're listening to the KSL Real Estate Show. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Heather Osmond, owner of Osmond Designs, here with Jeff Caplan, Drew Armstrong, and Matthew Flinders, utahrealestate.net. We'll see you next week.
Sweeten your fall at the Clark Historic Farms Honey Harvest Festival in Grantsville. Join us October 10th and 11th for a day of family fun. Enjoy delicious honey tasting, craft vendors, and live music with the Sweet Fiddlin' Fest. Meet local beekeepers, learn about the magic of honey, and don't miss the harvest activities. Bring your friends and family to the sweetest festival of the season. Visit clarkhistoricfarm.org for more details. That's clarkhistoricfarm.org.